So let me explain what's currently happening, okay? There's this game called Blue Protocol. Are you following? Hopefully, good. And the important part is, there's drama. Oh yes, I said it. The juicy, holy word, drama. And, well, let's hope it's good.
A Blue Protocol got also nerfed.
Okay.
The release is not going to be happening for a while longer. Here we go.
Players are
Big.
pissed. Blue Protocol players are pissed. Not
Well,
even...
I played the... I'm not mad. Like, I would rather...
I don't even know what Blue Protocol honestly is, but I just hope it's good drama.
Amazon take longer to make Blue Protocol good than wait and then make... Like, let Blue Protocol have the same problems that Lost Ark has. Like, I think always, every single time a game gets delayed, I'm happy. It's disappointing because, like, I want the game to come out, I want to play it, but I think any time that a game gets delayed, that's fine.
That's true.
pissed. They are absolutely, unequivocally livid. For those of you unaware, the final Japanese Blue Protocol live stream was held. In that live stream, they confirmed Blue Protocol would be releasing on June 14th, 2023. So imagine seeing this. Imagine during the live stream, players are presented with an actual, official, concrete, confirmed release date.
Cool.
I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's true because this release date was Blue Protocol. This is a fucking Japanese company, and they are releasing it somewhere around this time for Japanese players. Yeah, this is I'm talking about like the global release isn't until 2024.
Is this a game that has a separate Japanese release, aka Asia release, and then the Western release is a different thing again? Oh no, why haven't we still just gotten rid of this absolute BS system?
Japanese release is still happening.
On the 14th of June, players are going to be able to log into the game and play it. It is in a 100% fully incomplete form. Players over on the Blue Protocol subreddit were ecstatic. Hopefully global release will be soon too. Q4 2023 at best, Q1 2024 more realistically. But unfortunately, all hope for a 2023 was absolutely squashed, destroyed.
If that's a Lost Ark type of game, I'm actually kind of excited. I didn't even know this was a thing.
After it was confirmed that Blue Protocol, published by Amazon Game Studios, was somehow, for whatever reason, delayed. The Western version...
If it's published by Amazon Game Studios, you know, despite how many quantum processors and future technologies you put into your computer, the loading screens are still gonna take half a day.
Version launch date changed. Amazon Games is now changing the official global release date from 2023 to 2024. The PC closed beta test, however, is going to be held at some point in 2023. This is pretty big news, very disappointing news, as Amazon had confirmed that Blue Protocol...
I don't think it's that big of a deal, personally. Like, I'm not upset about this at all.
There's a lot of things coming out.
Like, I think the reason why also is that they're releasing Throne and Liberty this year.
Okay.
So, yeah,
what
big
is that?
surprise. They're not going to go and release 2 MMOs inside of, like, a 4-month period of each other. Like, there it is.
If it's by the same company, aka Amazon is the publisher, then probably, yeah. Makes sense. Even though, how did they do this as publishers? Because as I'm not sure. Do they have the final saying on the release date? Because if yes, then that makes a lot of sense.
Call was still pretty much on schedule to release within 2023, that there were not going to be any delays, that they were not encountering any issues.
And by the way, like, the Blue Protocol developers never said at any time that the global release was going to be in 2023. This was a Japanese live stream to a Japanese audience. There was never a statement that it was going to be in 2023. People hoped for this, they expected it, and now that it's not happening, they're shitting on Amazon for something that was never promised.
I mean, that sounds classic consumer manners. What's the problem?
Said earlier this year, when the final Japanese network test was delayed by roughly 2 months, that this was going to negatively impact the release date globally. Players thought there's no way it's going to affect the global release date because Amazon, they have been localizing the game over a period of time, and that the issue that the Japanese version encountered was something minor that Japan was going to remedy and send the fixed version over to Amazon and apply. That would
take... probably another reason why they want to delay the release is so they can reevaluate how the monetization structure is received by the West.
No. Absolutely not. It's released by Amazon. They already all know. They already know the numbers. They literally do not care. They already know the monetization system. This is not the first time a Japanese game, a Japanese whatever, gets released on the West. They don't need to evaluate anything. They already know what's gonna be the reaction. Okay, the more pay to win it is, the more people are gonna be pissed, and the less they play. That's it. There's no such thing. They're not doing any of that.
So, like, for example, there are a lot of changes that were made to Lost Ark's monetization versus here and in Korea. So
yes, and that implies that they already knew what the players are going to say for a classical, traditional bipolar thing that Asia is accustomed to in the West. Because in Asia, you can buy power. In fact, if you're not buying power, people are looking down at you because what? Are you poor or something that you don't just pay to win in a game that, is built to pay to win? What's wrong with you? You must be poor. That is legitimately how they think. In the West, that's not happening. So they already know all of this.
They might be wanting to effectively have Japan beta test what the systems are and how the community reacts to the systems, because obviously a Japanese audience is going to have different values than a Western audience, but the Western audience is going to see what's in the Japanese version. Right? All the community is going to see what that is.
This sounds like a technical good point, but keep in mind this has never happened in the history of ever that they have actually cared about this. The fact that the West is going to be pissed at the way the Japanese version of the game is monetized has had absolutely never any impact on anything. The West can be pissed as much as they want about the Japanese version, but the Japanese version is not going to move even a single muscle to change because of that.
And I think in the process of that, they will have an opinion of it. Too many big games being released in June. They probably just called it out so they don't get overshadowed by other big games, I'm guessing. Yeah, well, anything... again, this is the Western launch version. I cannot express this enough. The 2023 date was announced on a live stream that was in Japanese at 5 in the morning for the Japanese audience and Japanese beta testers. Never in that announcement, in any of their statements, did they ever say that there would be a global release in 2023. They never said that.
Do you speak Japanese?
Neither did Amazon. Match, but yeah, true. Blue Protocol is not an MMO. It functions like an MMO.
Oh, like anyone can actually tell what's an MMO nowadays.
Maybe a few hours, maybe a few days, but that delay was not large enough to impact the overall release.
Why are people mad?
That was slated for 2023.
People are mad because they have a bad reaction to Amazon games. These are people that probably played New World and or Lost Ark, and they're unhappy with those games. So they assume that...
I mean, not a lot of people are happy with New World. The only people who play New World are absolutely out of their minds elitists who probably don't want new people to come in just so their elitist club doesn't get reset.
Amazon picking up this new game is now going to hurt this game as well.
To the contrary. Or, you know what, maybe their release of Throne and Liberty, which has also been pushed back a few months, is the sole reason for the delay, because maybe Amazon don't want to release two different MMOs that are going to compete with one another.
He's right. He's totally right. And that's a smart thing for Amazon to do.
Yep.
If I was Amazon, I would make this decision. No one wants to play a solved game at launch. You'll be chasing Japanese meta and playing optimally.
No one cares about that.
Like
the people who want to do that will do it. The people who don't want to do it don't do it. Like these points are irrelevant.
yeah, I know what you're saying, but there was never a universe where we were going to get this game on release at the same time Japan would. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. Like, this was never a possibility at all.
Potentially destroy any kind
Why
of...
not? Because it didn't have a publisher at the time, and why would they do that? Why would they withhold... Like, think about how much localization that they need to do, right? They need to get servers for it. They need to have voice actors for it. They need to have the translators for it. They need to have everything else set up. They need to have people beta test and play through it to make sure that everything works properly. There's so many things that they have to do in order to make it ready to ship in another region.
Yep.
Like any game, yeah, sure, and it takes time for.
And keep in mind, they are actually changing things between those versions. It's not just voice actors and translation, which, by the way, isn't that complicated nowadays, honestly. But, you know, they are actually changing stuff also.
Those games, too. Blue Protocol has to do that, and Amazon already made this mistake with Lost Ark, so they're not going to do it again.
Potential long-term success, and that makes sense because I've always been of the opinion that it's really dumb to license and then publish two MMOs within just a couple months of one another.
Before we go any
it's
further,
weird.
I just want to take a moment here to thank all of our incredible patrons. You guys allow me to continue to play games like this for a living, and I can never truly repay that kindness. Also, if you're interested, I stream over on Twitch every single weekend. You should totally come on over and join me.
How do you justify a 6-month plus delay for a game that will be ready by half of June? Seriously, Amazon? And significantly more than 6 months at that. They said only 2024 and not even the first quarter of 2024, which means
I hate to do this, but I'm actually, as I said, I'm going to defend Amazon Games. I think they're making the right call to delay the game.
Technically, by his own words, Amazon is not delaying anything because they didn't promise anything to begin with. They can't delay something that they didn't give you a date for.
I think that they are absolutely making the right call. At the end of the video, I'll explain why I think that.
Oh boy.
theoretically it could also come out
Like, I'll
Christmas
explain all the reasons.
2024. That is true. Holy shit. I didn't even think of that. They didn't give an exact release date, just 2024. That could fucking be at the end of the year. We could be waiting another year or another year and a half to successfully get the game. Amazon's
maybe.
censoring stocks just
Insane.
went up. This legit killed my hype. Waiting 6+ months is insane while people can already play it in their native language. I mean, Asian games typically release in their...
I mean, nobody had that problem with Lost Ark. Like, what the fuck? Like, Lost Ark was out for years.
respective Asian countries anyway, so this is pretty
I'm
much normal.
not
but
saying that it would,
I do agree. Potentially having to wait 6
it would
months.
be nice if it was out at the beginning. Lost Ark was here too. But like,
True.
what I'm saying is, like,
No, actually, that would have destroyed Lost Ark. No, actually, no. Because the Asian version of Lost Ark had so many more updates and whatnot, we already got a better game at the start, you know? And people were still complaining hardcore about Lost Ark, honestly, at the very, very start. That there's not anything fun to do, and so on, and so on, and so on. If we got Lost Ark at its initial stage at the same time as the Asia release, the Lost Ark probably would not have survived in the West, because it was just a bad game at the start. Lost Ark needed to go through a lot of things to become a good game. It wasn't good at the start. People didn't like it. It was boring. It was grindy. It wasn't special. The animations were bad. The characters didn't feel good. No balance. No good raids. No good nothing. Think about it. Your experience peaked at literal Argos for a year. That's horrible.
I don't think it was a big deal. Like, I was just excited for it whenever it would come out.
12 months, 18 months is absurd, given in theory we were only going to be a few months behind the Japanese release initially. Bro, even the closed beta isn't determined. Yeah, just at some point in 2023. If all goes according to plan. I knew it.
Interesting.
Amazon doesn't want to release Throne and Liberty and Blue Protocol at the same time. That's actually...
Which is smart. Like, as an MMO fan, that's the right decision, and that's what I want.
Like, it's an expected thing, honestly. Yeah, it makes sense. Anyone who thought that a single studio who has a choice when to release a game is gonna release two games that are gonna battle over the same audience, even if they don't battle, by the way, over the same audience, that no one's doing that. It's like the most stupidest choice ever.
As a Blue Protocol fan, I'm mad. And I totally understand that, right? I mean, if you're a fan of Blue Protocol and you really like Blue Protocol, guess what? You're probably upset about this because you don't give a fuck about Throne and Liberty. You just want to play Blue Protocol. But in the larger ecosystem that Blue Protocol exists in, this is the best decision for the game.
Yep,
Really my
makes
thought
sense.
process behind this, but at the same time, Throne and Liberty looks like it's going to be a massive bomb after seeing the gameplay, after seeing the autoplay and the reception from Korean players. Well, that's my hype gone, but it's like Lost Ark, where there's no catch-up mechanics to get us to JP progress decently, and maybe a ton of JP exclusive events and
They're
collabs,
gonna
etc.,
add
like
it.
in PSO2. Ugh, hype gone. Tower of Fantasy has been miserable being behind with a crazy catch-up speed rush, slow down right before catching up and rebalancing random things for global. Remember,
Dude, Tower of Fantasy was something else. When that game came out, everyone was so hyped. Best game ever, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks pass and no one even remembers it.
save all your chips and currency because X is coming in a few months. Save forever. Never enjoy the Dude, that's
I mean, bro,
That's kind of true,
like,
actually.
what the fuck?
No, this is a mentality a lot of people have. And this is a mentality even average players actually had in Lost Ark, for example. I don't know why Asmongold doesn't recognize this, but this is the mentality, this is the problem with when you know what's gonna come out. For example, there are gonna be people who play the game less because they know that something is gonna come out that will make their previous progress in the past 3 months feel kind of more or less useless, right? They're not gonna do X because in 2 months, maybe, or 3 months or 4 months, there's gonna come out something that's 2 times more powerful than X, so doing X in the first place is like a waste of time. There are a lot of people like that. Oh, a new class is gonna come out, and these engravings are the best for it, so you better now buy these engravings that you're not gonna use for any class or anything you play for 4 months, just to be ready for that class that you maybe are gonna play in 4 months. Yeah, that is kind of stupid.
Like, does this sound stupid to you guys? Like, I feel
It
like
sounds
this sounds
stupid.
so dumb.
But
Number
people
one,
do
Tower
it.
of Fantasy is massively mismanaged. And more importantly, it's not managed by Amazon. So, like, what the fuck does this have to do with it at all?
Who knows?
bit of an overreaction. Thanks, I hate it. I was getting worried since we had zero communication on the Western Front. Yeah, no updates or communication since December 2022. 3+ years of following this. I'm just gonna play in Japanese. I feel like at the end of the day, this is pretty much par for the course. Amazon continue
So
to
stupid.
announce dates and
Okay.
then are incapable of sticking to said dates. Very disappointing, but at the same time, what on earth has given you the impression that Amazon are capable in any capacity of successfully publishing a game? Because they're not. They're fairly incompetent.
That's
Blue
actually
Protocol,
true.
It'll eventually come out. It will. It's gonna come out theoretically in 2024 at some point.
That is actually true. Again, the reason why we lost Ark loads so slowly is because of their stupid anti-cheat system. There's something running in the background that makes all the loading take like 5 times longer than it should. That's a thing with Lost Ark. And consider if this is a game like Lost Ark, yeah, that's gonna happen also to this game.
There are a lot of us that are going to play on the Japanese servers, at least initially, and they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot here by delaying it for potentially 6 months to a year and a half. And I know it's an overreaction to think, rip Blue Protocol, but at the same time, a delay of this magnitude is definitely going to have a very significant impact on the overall success of the game, because the longer it's delayed, the longer it takes for us to play it, the less people are going to be interested in it. Now, I'm still excited. I'm still going to play it, but man, this kind of sucks to wake up to in the morning. Now, if Blue Protocol isn't your kind of game, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be of more interest to you. Go check them out.
Oh wow.
I just like.
Oh wow, you can see a lot of personality
Okay,
here.
let me look at this and see for myself.
Okay, what
Because
are we
like, I
looking
want to
at?
look and see where Amazon Games said they would release it in 2023.
They probably didn't.
Because I certainly don't fucking remember that. But there is a chance I could be wrong. And I just read an
Also, Amazon, they didn't. I know this for a fact because there's such low belief in me that Amazon would ever tolerate not have some kind of strange contract stipulation where if you do not release in the time date that we have set, if you are not ready by that time, we are gonna, well, you're gonna be in debt to us. Let's just say it like that.
article, and it says, in this article, it says that this is AmazonGames.com. This is their own website. And it says Amazon Games and Bandai Namco Online bring Blue Protocol to the West in 2023.
That's insane.
In New Zealand, it will be free to play, will launch on PC, Xbox in the second half of 2023 with a closed beta on PC earlier this year. So, okay, second half of 2023. Well, yeah, but the second half of 2023 is not 2024.
Oh, wow, they actually did allow it?
Yeah, I think actually, no, there is... Yeah, no, they did say that they would release it in 2023 then. That's what I didn't know.
Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. What does Amazon have like super big expectations for this game? Again, I don't know anything about it. I'm just surprised because there's no shot at Amazon. They must have super big expectations for this thing to make money. Because there's no shot Amazon is like just yeah. Let's say it's gonna come out now here, and then you miss the release date by a year or maybe even more. That is insane. Not in my wildest. There's something definitely going on there because there's no Amazon is just too big to care. Okay, Amazon has already done the gaming part of Amazon has already done two big things, not two big things, but too many different big things for them to not be harsh about this. There's no shot.
Announcement trailer, okay. And so what does it say here?
Coming 2023. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah. Straight up, they did say they were going to release it in 2023, and now it's not happening. Okay. Yeah,
that's
I certainly didn't remember that. Because I remember the developers never said that, but I guess Amazon did. Yeah, so they did fuck up.
Oh, maybe Amazon fucked up. Well, who knows? But wow, this is insane. I know a lot of you probably don't understand how insane this is, but a set date like this by a company like Amazon that literally most likely has a clause of chopping off your balls if you do something to a certain level that Amazon does not like. Yeah, that's huge. I wonder what's happening here. Huge.
They did say it. So it says release date adjustment in Japanese. Yeah, no, I just didn't remember that. Apparently I was wrong, and they did actually say it would come out in 2023. Amazon?
Crazy.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like, with Lost Ark, they delayed Lost Ark 2.
Yeah.
And the reason why Lost Ark got delayed is because they said that the game wasn't up to standard for the Western release. And
they said that, but did they say it just because of the monetization? Because I think it was just because of the monetization aspect.
And I think that one of the worst things about Lost Ark is, like, the voice acting was fucking garbage. It was so bad, and a lot of the quest text and stuff like that, like, it was either incoherent or stupid or weird or like
Aspergold is like one of two people in the world who actually know the story of Lost Ark. I know the simple part. There's arcs. You're supposed to find them. There's chaos. There's like this little Yoda-looking thing that does kung fu and illusions. There's waifu. There's a lot of good hentai. That's pretty much it. I don't know anything else about the story, and no one else also does.
The voice acting was so bad, it actively made the story worse. Like,
Wow.
it's very hard to do that, but Lost Ark managed to make that happen. You know, like calling Vicus him in Gate 3, and that's still in the game today. It's a joke. So,
Wow.
like, I mean, Amazon did delay, and that still happened. So it's not like a delay fills me.
But they did give well, wait. No, Vicus is not supposed to be androgynous. There's no shot. Well, they completely made up for this by giving Brel feet.
With a lot of confidence, but at the end of the day, I think that realistically, I don't really care that much about this, even though I can absolutely see this being hugely disappointing for like Blue Protocol fans and people
that is true, but then again, we are currently living in a strange day and age where games are released so frequently, and good games and games with a lot of hype are released so frequently that you actually get this situation where they get delayed so they don't get released at the same time as another big game coming out. Soon we're just gonna get like 2 major releases per, like, I don't know, month or something like that, where everything is oversaturated, and that's gonna be one hell of a ride.
that are just excited for Blue Protocol. Because, like, for me, I play a lot of other MMOs, so it's not a big deal that, like, this game isn't super, is not coming out immediately.
Well, that's a nice thing, but I'm gonna have to actually look up what actually this, Blue Protocol is. If it's Lost Ark, hell yeah, I want to play that. Well, anyway, this was Quizzer Citizen. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.